Okay, so tanpa membuang masa, so saya menjemput Profesor Mahdia Dr. Raden Kari Hijrah Kirodin untuk memberikan sedikit informasi tentang struktur program dual degree. Dipersilakan.
Terima kasih ya Dr. Azian. Selamat pagi kepada semua dan very good morning to all. Thank you for coming on this sharing session lah. Right? Sebab I think sharing session is very important lah to all yang memang interested untuk pergi ke ataupun enroll for this program, right? I think one of the representative from faculty electrical, PM Dr. Nur Nabihah ada juga ya?
Ada, saya.
Okay.
Terima kasih.
And welcome Dr. Nur Nabihah. And juga Mr. Lim. Mr. Lim, Jaden is already here as well. So never mind, I'll just quickly brief lah what is all about dual degree. Okay. Saya ada sediakan slide sedikit. Tetapi slide saya ni tak terlalu detail, tapi dia more detail on the roadmap lah. Nanti mungkin Mr. Lim ataupun Dr. Lau akan validate balik lah, especially Mr. Lim lah, because of Mr. Lim iaitu student yang telah menjalani program ini, dia boleh validate lah the roadmap tu sama ada that's quite, I mean accurate enough lah. So far I think it's quite accurate lah. Alright, let me share first some information about the dual degree, especially yang roadmap yang terbaru lah, sebab kita di jabatan dan di fakulti telah ada perbincangan bersama pihak di Helbron dan kita telah membuat penambahbaikan sedikit lah berkenaan program dual degree ini. Alright, let me share first. Okay, I think semua nampak ya? Okay, let me start. Okay, so this is some of the program structure dan continuous assessment guideline lah, because of all of the student needs to know lah about this. And then me myself, I'm Dr. Raden Kari Hijrah bin Harudin. Okay, I'm the head of research program for KDM dan PDM. So for the dual degree program ni, specifically for master's program ya, master's by research lah, di mana kita mempunyai collaboration bersama Helbron University lah di Germany. Okay. Jadi information yang pertama adalah perbezaan lah, perbezaan antara traditional masters dan dual degree. Kalau kita tengok traditional masters tu, it is only one single process lah. Jadi seperti biasa anda semua akan tahulah sebab dia by research program, jadi dia self study. So you don't need to go to any classes and it is straight lah 2 or 3 semesters lah. Okay. Sama juga macam dual degree program. Cuma kalau kita lihat dari segi perbezaan dua flows ni, dia berjalan secara serentak, concurrent program. Okay. So maksudnya pelajar yang mendaftar perlu memenuhi kedua-dua requirement lah daripada pihak yang menawarkan program tersebut, iaitu UTHM dan juga HHN. Sekejap saya tutup window saya lah sebab ada construction di sini. Okay. Alright, jadi kalau kita tengok the flows tu, there's one color biru UTHM and then the red color is HHN lah. Jadi I hope student yang akan enroll for this program your mindset tu kena bersifat sebegitulah. Maksudnya dua program berjalan serentak dan dia concurrent. Jadi kena fulfillment of both institution punya requirement tu sangat penting lah. Alright. Tapi yang di sini menunjukkan bahawa the program sebenarnya anda dapat lebih daripada itulah, which is 2 scrolls and then only 1 thesis at the end. Okay, tapi anda perlu menjalani kelas. Nanti saya akan pergi seterusnya kepada roadmap, then I know you know what it needs to be done lah here at the UTHM ataupun over there lah at the Germany, what needs to be done over there, right? So secara dasarnya bagi Masters of Mechanical Engineering untuk fakulti mechanical yang ditawarkan, kita perlu melihat syarat lah daripada universiti iaitu CGS lah. Mereka mensyaratkan ada 6 stage lah yang anda perlu lakukan untuk mendapat Masters of Mechanical yang ditawarkan. Okay, jadi ini standard lah, ini dasar yang telah dikeluarkan, created by CGS lah ya. Jadi stage pertama registration, kemudian anda perlu menjalani research methodology, kemudian yang first evaluation which is the second stage. Okay, second stage is a proposal defense conducted by the faculty. Kemudian anda terus pergi ke number 3 steps. After that, maybe after a few months or after 1 semester, okay, there is a periodic evaluation which is done internally by the faculty, which is you have to undergo research symposium lah, alright. Kemudian the 4th step, which is the second evaluation required by university, by the CGS, okay, is pre-viva, preparation towards your final viva. This is a second evaluation, will be done, conducted by the faculty. So kebanyakannya all this continuous assessment is done at the faculty, kecuali 2 lah, which is research methodology number 1 dengan number 5 lah, which is the final viva voce lah, which is done by the CGS, alright, secara centralized. Pada masa kini semua pelajar research menjalani centralized tadi research methodology, but not viva voce lah. Viva voce secara individual lah, because of you applying the session, right? Okay, so viva voce memang di-organize by the CGS lah. Di faculty hanya melihat kepada semua continuous assessment tersebut telah dijalankan dan juga final documentation lah yang perlu dihantar sebelum dipanjangkan kepada Center of Graduate Studies lah untuk final announcement, notification about the viva voce lah. Alright, the last one is graduation lah. Alright, so this is 6 general common steps lah yang telah dipraktis, diamalkan di universiti dan di CGS lah bagi masters dan juga PhD sebenarnya lebih kurang sama by research. Okay, cuma PhD dan masters tu berbeza dari segi timeline lah, lead time dia berbeza sedikit lah. Alright, jadi ini secara dasar di UTHM. Jadi bagi yang akan join ataupun enroll for this program, itu kita lihat tadi di UTHM, di CGS, di FKMP. Jadi kita kena lihat balik di apa yang disyaratkan, needs to be fulfilled by the Masters of Robotics, tak silap saya, dan Mechatronic. Jadi anda, setiap pelajar yang enroll for this, you will get 2 scrolls, right? One is from Master of Mechanical by the UTHM, and the other one Masters of Mechatronics and Robotics, tak silap saya, awarded by the Heilbronn Universities. So this is the roadmap for the summer term. This is I can say it is old stuff lah, not so old lah, tapi the latest pelajar yang menjalani program ini about to having his viva lah, which is Mr. Wu Chun Fan. Maksudnya program ini telah berjalan lebih kurang hampir 2 tahun lah, ya. Sebab dalam 1.5 and 2 semesters lah. It's about 2 years. So ini yang telah dipraktiskan selama lebih kurang 2 tahun ini, dan juga ada beberapa penambahbaikan lah. Okay, let's start lah. For the summer term, whoever interested enrolling for this program. So number 1 ni is on the pre-registration period lah. Kerana selepas slide ini saya ada satu lagi roadmap yang terbaru untuk winter term. Jadi ini adalah cadangan terbaru daripada pihak Heilbronn. Jadi saya kena lihat kedua-dua roadmap sama ada feasible or not. Jadi yang kedua juga saya akan terangkan apa perbezaan dan mungkin ada risk area yang perlu diambil kira dalam memilih which term. Jadi untuk term yang pertama adalah summer term. Summer term ni bermulanya March and August. Saya ambil summer term ni because of based on Heilbronn University punya term lah. Normally they will use summer term, winter term. Di sini di Malaysia kita tak ada term tersebut sebab kita panas sentiasa. Jadi di sana dia ada 4 season. Dia akan banyak termnya menggunakan term-term yang seperti berikutlah, summer term, autumn term, winter term dan sebagainya. Jadi kalau summer term maksudnya around March to August. Okay. Jadi bagi pihak sekarang ni roadmap yang ada ni hanya untuk local student lah. Maksudnya UTHM student. Jadi semua yang hadir ni adalah local student. Jadi anda boleh tengok dua-dua roadmap lah. Sebab kalau for international, for Heilbronn student, roadmap dia sedikit berbeza. Saya tak ada share lah di dalam slide ni. Okay, jadi roadmap summer term, this is the 3 things that you need to do lah before actually applying, before actually undergoing the program. So pertamanya seperti Masters of Mechanical by Research yang bukan dual degree, dia akan samalah lebih kurang, iaitu yang pertama you have to discuss first lah with your potential supervisors. Kalau ini adalah dual degree program, supervisors pun kena jugalah discuss dan juga trying to look for the co-supervisors over there. Kalau pelajar outbound ni for UTHM, supervisornya adalah UTHM supervisors. The co-supervisor will be the Heilbronn lah. Itu yang pertama. Kerana apa? Ketika anda applying the program, memang di dalam portal yang kedua lah, memang dalam portal SMAP ataupun tak silap saya portal regular ni, anda perlu menulis ataupun share dia punya brief proposal. It's not a very detailed proposal, it's a brief sahaja. Cuma yang penting di situ adalah who is the supervisors, dan kalau di-decide kemudian pun tidak apa, tapi yang paling penting adalah main supervisors lah. Alright. Then bila dah ada itu, then you akan apply lah. Kalau alumni menggunakan SMAP, kalau bukan non-alumni adalah menggunakan regular portal. Dan pada dua-dua portal ni, pihak faculty telah berurusan dengan pihak CGS di mana there is a special button for dual degree. Jadi jika anda berminat untuk dual degree, cari this button, dual degree button for both portals. Kalau you alumni, then you go straight to the SMAP, hopefully the DD button is there. But the regular portal definitely is there. Kerana saya dah 2 kali check lah, tapi for the SMAP portal, today I tak sempat nak check lah, tapi we already discussed with the CGS and they are developing the button. I think it's already there lah. Okay, memang ada special button tu, you kena click that button. Kerana apa? Kerana anda memerlukan offer letter. bagi anda register for the program. Jadi di dalam offer letter ni, bila you click that DD button, it will state there in your offer letter you are actually enrolling, you being offered. Offer letter ni you are being offered as a dual degree punya program lah, for the dual degree programs. Kalau you tak klik, tak menggunakan that button, dia akan pergi ke normal application for master's research program. Jadi dia tak ada state dual degree or whatsoever. Jadi mungkin pihak CGS nanti akan terpaksa ada tambah kerja lah, which is they have to acknowledge you, they have to tag you to dual degree. That's another job lah. Sebab tu kita perlukan that DD button whereby the offer letter straight akan terus pergi ke dual degree. That's the second stage lah. Second thing needs to be done lah before actually registering. The third thing is financial lah. This is based on allowance lah. Because of this research, you are actually applicable to apply any grants lah available. That's why the first steps tu needs to discuss with your supervisors about the financial assistance, dan juga financial assistance ni juga penting lah disallowance, kerana this allowance juga banyak membantu anda ketika anda menjalani program di over there lah, di SHN. Kerana ada sedikit cost yang perlu digunakan lah based on this grant lah. Alright, that's three things lah to do before actually registering. Okay. The second phase tu adalah registration lah. Apa yang anda perlu lakukan, kerana this is a summer term. Jadi secara ringkasnya, the first semesters will be at the UTHM, the second semesters will be at the Germany, and the third semester will you coming back to the university lah. So 6 months is over there lah at the Germany. Jadi pada fasa yang kedua ni yang berada di UTHM, sebelum pergi ke Germany, perkara-perkara yang anda perlu lakukan as quickly as possible, register and undergo the research methodology class, because tadi saya tunjukkan general common practice kan. Ini juga adalah salah satu syarat yang disyaratkan oleh UTHM lah. Jadi anda kena hadir dan juga lulus research methodology class. Kemudian perlu menjalani sesi defense your proposal, because this is another requirement set by the CGS dan UTHM sebelum anda pergi ke Germany. Jadi dalam proses selama 1 semester di sini, not just research methodology, not just proposal defense, you have to as well apply for the visa in order for you to go over there in Germany. Jadi di sini proses ni ada a bit tricky. Dia tidak boleh secara continuous. Jadi anda terpaksa apply sekali lagi kepada HHN. Jadi they will give you the offer letter. Kerana apa, di sini dia ada juga requirement set by the HHN lah, dari segi dia punya mungkin cost yang incurred lah, tapi tak banyak lah saya rasa. And then paling penting adalah your visa lah. And also some of the requirement ni perlu anda penuhi lah. Kemudian bila dah apply the visa, get the offer letter first, then baru apply the visa. Kemudian barulah anda boleh mendaftar di HHN. Jadi proses selama 1 semester, maybe visa process is 1 or 2 months. You can do it. Alright, I think tak ada masalah lah untuk pelajar-pelajar untuk memenuhi syarat-syarat ini dan step-step inilah. Kemudian as usual, semua pelajar research dikehendaki juga update dia research progress lah by filling up the ELKP lah secara dalam sistem. That's the first semesters. The second semesters, once you there in Germany, registered over there, these are the 2 things that is new. Okay, It's already being improved and approved by both institution, whereby di sana anda perlu menjalani coursework, okay, kelas, iaitu untuk memenuhi syarat-syarat di Heilbronn University, iaitu ada dua perkara lah. Pertama, menghadiri kelas, attend the physical classes and complete academic coursework which is equivalent to the 15 ECTS. That's number one. Number two, you have to do your collaborative research with your co-supervisors. Tadi pada masa awal ketika proposal penamaan supervisor dan juga penamaan co-supervisor dilakukan, then this time around on the second semester you will work with your co-supervisors, okay, with the same topic maybe. I think it's the same topic because of at the end of the day you only needs to produce one thesis only. Jadi equivalent of this collaborative research is equivalent to 15 ECTS. So ECTS is look like a credit. Nanti PM Dr. Low akan terangkanlah what does it mean by this 15 ECTS. It look like a credit. Germany use this kind of terms lah to represent their credit hours. Okay. So when you have done these two things, after one semester, then you come back to UTHM to continue your studies, at the same time fulfilling these three things lah. Alright. One is a research symposium. Okay. The other one is a pre-viva. And at the same time you have to set preparation for publication. It does not rigidly state at this semester 3. Kalau publication anda boleh hasilkan ketika semester 2 pun boleh, semester 1 pun boleh. Tapi cuma saya letak di sini ni, sem 3 ni, this is the last thing that you can do lah. At least you need to prepare and publish lah. At least one Scopus Index publication. Does not matter whether it's a proceeding ataupun journal. Okay. Then after that you can after completing everything, then you have to go lah for your final viva voce dengan syarat memenuhi syarat-syarat yang telah ditetapkan oleh final viva lah. Alright. Okay, this is a summer term yang telah berlaku sepanjang 3 to 4 semester lah yang kita praktiskan sampai sekarang. Dan penambahbaikan juga telah dilakukan oleh elemen-elemen yang ada di Heilbronn lah. Okay. The second roadmap, which is the winter term. Sebab ini ada cadangan daripada pihak Heilbronn that maybe UTHM student can also send their student in the very first semesters. Okay, when I look at both terms, yes, it is feasible. Cuma ada sedikit risk lah dari segi lead time. Kerana apa? Jika kita bezakan daripada summer term, you have plenty of time, ample time for you to apply for your visa and then undergoing the class and do the proposal event. Dari segi visa memang ada ample time lah, which is probably if you want to go, you have to register on the March. So by November or October, you can apply for this. Because if I'm not mistaken, the visa process is about 1 or 2 months. Okay. Cumanya bila when you go to the winter terms, okay. Okay, this needs to be considered lah because of whatever cadangan daripada Heilbronn that UTHM student can go straight to the first semester, which is, let's say, you need to register by September. Okay, sorry, by September. So, especially for alumni yang baru saja grad, mungkin belum grad lagi, tetapi normally once you get the Senate confirmation on your transcript, maybe at the end of July ataupun maybe early August, now you can start have to look for the visa, the three things. Perbezaan di sini, visanya perlu di apply sebelum register di Helbron. Itu yang perbezaan sedikit daripada term yang telah dipraktis, which is summer term dengan winter term. Di mana hanyalah masalah dari segi masa. Jadi anda perlu set your mind in the quickest manner lah. Maksudnya bila end Julai ni anda dah kena buat preparation dari segi not just proposal dan financial assistance, tapi yang paling utama visa lah, because of kita kena set target whereby you need to enroll over there September. Jadi masa lah, lead time di situ ada sedikit risk lah yang perlu dilihat. Okey, jika telah selesai tiga-tiga ini, mungkin for non-alumni yang mungkin grad setahun sebelum dan sebagainya, dia tak ada masalah lah dari segi visa ini. Tapi untuk pelajar yang mungkin the fresh grad, newly fresh grad, they want to straight away undergo the master's program, ini ada lead time masa yang lebih kurang, I'm not sure. One is August, July end, mungkin 1.5 bulan atau hopefully over there, if it is registered in end September ataupun early October, mungkin boleh dicapai lah perkara visa ini. Kerana proses of the visa kita tak dapat jalankan secara concurrent, di mana what I'm saying is about concurrent, which is kalau anda apply di sini, automatically pihak Germany knows that you are actually enrolling for the program. Tetapi kita tidak boleh buat begitu kerana kita adalah dua negara yang berbeza dan ada laws, clause about the immigration dan macam-macam. Itu sebenarnya telah dibincangkan di antara pihak fakulti dan pihak CGS lah. Jadi memang pihak Helbron mencadangkan sebegitu. Tetapi bila kita berbincang bersama pihak CGS, which is UTHM lah, tidak boleh dijalankan kerana ada clause sebagai clause yang sebegitulah bersama IO, tak silap saya lah. Dan ia menjadi sedikit tricky lah, sedikit susah lah, tapi boleh dilakukan, tiada masalah selagi mana julat masa itu memberikan proses tersebut berjalan dengan lancar lah. Okay. Jadi whatever in winter term, so first semester the student akan terus pergi ke sana. Tak silap saya, if I'm not mistaken, you kena mendaftar dua-dua lah. Mendaftar di UTHM dan straight away mendaftar di sana lah. So the first semester, this is kalau nak ikutkan common practice, pelajar mesti lakukan research methodology straight away. Tetapi bila mana on this winter term, you will be there dekat Germany, you have to undergo classes, which is these two things, right? 15 ESTS dan 15 on the research. So saya put the research methodology in your second semester. Kerana apa? Mengikut MQA, syarat untuk mendapat masters is only minimum 1 year. Jadi di pihak fakulti melihat perkara ini boleh dilakukan dengan syarat research methodology dan proposal defense tu mungkin kita boleh lakukan secara concurrent di dalam satu semester, ataupun mungkin proposal defense dahulu ataupun research methodology kemudian pun tak apalah. Because currently we have to do that kerana untuk melihat dari segi accreditation by MQA lah, di mana ramai juga yang bertanya saya lah berkenaan ini, whether it can be done concurrently in the same semester. So that's why in semester 2 bila balik di UTHM, kerana apa, anda telah fulfill semester pertama di Germany, whereby you've done your coursework and then you have done collaborative research with a co-supervisor di sana, then you come back to the UTHM, then undergoing the research methodology. It's all online ya, kerana panel anda salah seorangnya adalah panel daripada HHN. Kalau di situ kita lihat memang hanya platform secara online sajalah yang boleh dijalankan bagi semua continuous assessment. Jadi semester kedua adalah undergoing research methodology dan juga proposal defense, kerana syarat yang ditetapkan oleh fakulti juga untuk proposal defense adalah dalam masa setahun for both program, ya, masters dan PhD. Tapi untuk masters one year, I think it should be okay lah for all students lah. Jadi semester kedua tu anda balik di UTHM still within a specified time, then you can undergoing your proposal defense lah. As usual, ELKP perlulah dipenuhi syarat tersebut setiap semester. In the end, on the semester 3, you have to, this is the same dah, semester 3 ni untuk summer term dan winter term, which is symposium, pre-viva, and the last one is viva voce lah. At the same time, also the publication lah needs to be fulfilled as well. Alright, so I think that's it for my presentation lah, because of the most important thing is the roadmap lah. Okay. Lain-lain tu berkenaan apa syarat-syarat continuous assessment, apa yang perlu dipenuhi tu saya takkan terangkan lah dalam sharing session ni, kerana dia panjang lagi lah. Jadi ini saya skip sajalah. Cuma kalau ada persoalan, boleh tanya saya, boleh tanya Dr. Azian, Dr. Loh, Dr. Izzuddin dan semualah yang berada dalam jabatan pengajian siswa Azhar. Okay, that's it. I think that's my presentation lah. Okay, terima kasih.
Okey, terima kasih diucapkan kepada Dr. Radin di atas penerangan tentang struktur program dual degree. So untuk pengetahuan semua, sebenarnya dual degree kita ni istimewa sebab di UTHM kita akan buat secara penyelidikan, tapi dekat Heilbronn di Germany kita perlu mengambil kelas lah. Okey, jadi kelas-kelas tu dah kita ada credit hour yang perlu kita ambil. Okey, maksudnya pergi ke sana menghadiri kelas. Okey. Dan projek tu adalah projek yang sama sebenarnya yang dilakukan di UTHM dan di sana. Okey. So tanpa membuang masa, saya ingin menjemput panel kedua kita, iaitu Profesor Madya IR Dr. Lau Cheng Yi untuk menerangkan tentang peluang scholarship daripada Germany. Dipersilakan.
Thank you Dr. Azian. Boleh dengar suara saya?
Boleh Doktor.
Screen nampak tak?
Nampak.
Okay, so thank you very much Dr. Azian, Dr. Radin. Saya akan terangkan berkenaan scholarship. So as an overview, maybe saya pun terangkan sedikit background lah. So kerjasama UTHM dengan pihak Jerman. So far we have been working with several German university and institution, termasuk Fraunhofer IEM, Hochschule Magdeburg Stendal, Hochschule Osnabrück, dan paling latest sekali adalah Hochschule Heilbronn, yang mana kita telah sebenarnya ada ramai student yang pergi ke situ melalui sponsorship ada Gutenberg Scholarship dan Erasmus Plus. So scholarship yang paling latest adalah scholarship daripada DAAD untuk dapat degree UTHM bersama Hochschule Heilbronn. So ceritanya bermula pada tahun 2022 di mana tahun tu UTHM menghantar satu delegasi ke Hochschule Heilbronn dalam bulan Jun. So dan dalam bulan 11 mereka datang baliklah ke UTHM. Masa tu kita sign satu MOA for double degree. So MOA tu akan matchingkan kita punya KDM dan KEE daripada FKMP dan FKE dengan Hochschule Heilbronn punya Master Focus Research dalam mechatronic and robotic. So saya letakkan nama Usufan di sini sebab Usufan akan adakan viva dia hari ini, dan hopefully after today we are going to get the first graduate from our double degree cooperation. So so far daripada dana DAAD yang kita dapat, kita telah mengajar a few student termasuk Lim Wei Shen yang mana dia akan share his experience today with you guys about his experience dekat Hebron. So lepas tu at the moment kita ada lagi 2 orang student di situ, Ang Zixuan dan Li Zhenxian. So yang akan datang bulan 9 nanti pun kita dah ada a few student. So iaitu Abishai, Syashi Juan. So lepas tu Lo, lepas tu Kevin dan Irfan. So kita masih ada lagi 4 scholarship for the winter semester 2026. So kalau ada yang sekarang ni final sem dan berminat nak register untuk dapat degree ni, so seperti yang telah diterangkan oleh Dr. Alim tadi, you boleh pergi straight away bulan 9 dan sekiranya you sekarang ni first semester sama ada dalam program KDM ataupun KDD, so you are welcome to convert with agreement from your supervisor, so to join our double degree supaya you pun boleh join all these student lah. So and the target is we want to send about 10 students in September. So because ada seorang lagi undergraduate ya yang akan pergi sekali. So yeah, so maybe itu saja berkenaan dengan scholarship. So maybe pun saya ambil kesempatan ini untuk terangkan sikit Hochschule Heilbronn. So the full name for Hochschule Heilbronn adalah Heilbronn University of Applied Sciences. So this is because the education system in Germany, so they have 2 types of university. Satu yang dipanggil Universität dan satu lagi Hochschule. So dia macam kita punya RU lah, university ni macam kita punya RU dan Hochschule ni University of Applied Sciences ni macam kita punya M2. So therefore UTHM dan Hochschule Heilbronn is a good match lah sebab kita adalah sama-sama M2. So a little bit about Hochschule Heilbronn. It was founded like quite long ago in 1961. So it is actually the largest public funded Hochschule dekat Baden-Württemberg, which is one of their state. So it is located in the southern part of Germany, over here. So it has about 8,000 students. It has about four campuses, bukan about, yeah. So 31 bachelor degree programs, about 23 master program. All these numbers keep changing. So therefore, but this slide I got them like I think 2 years ago. It is okay lah. So one special characteristic of Hochschule is their close industrial linkage, because all their professors must work in the industry before. So before they can join the Hochschule as a professor, normally when they join the Hochschule, they are already like the top person or among the top management of their respective companies. Therefore, after they join Hochschule Heilbronn pun banyak projek lah yang dia boleh bawa masuk. Dan in terms of student pula, banyak student mereka are actually working student. Maksudnya one of them is called cooperative studium. So meaning that the student at the same time is also an employee for the company, and at the same time they are studying for their academic qualification at Hochschule Heilbronn. So these are the four campuses that they have. Tech campus dekat Zonheim. So last semester I was there for one semester as the guest professor. So yeah, and then it's as you can see here, so it is only this building and a few several buildings over here. It is not as big as macam UTHM campus lah. So besides that, they have another campus, the City Center, Bildungs Campus. So it's a brand new campus, library also over there, where they share the campus with the other university, macam Technical University München. So ini macam lebih kurang macam kita punya kampus Pago lah. So ada brand new campus, shared campus. Lepas tu ada lagi satu campus yang dipanggil campus Kunzelsau dan satu lagi kampus Schwäbisch Hall. So in terms of master degree, So at the Faculty of Engineering, they have several master degree. At the moment, we are pairing up their mechatronics and robotics with our KDM and KED lah. So in the future, we are planning to open up this option also. So like we will try to include everything here with our KDM, KEE, and maybe also some other master by research program at UTHM. So like what Dr. Radin pointed out just now, so you are actually enrolling in two parallel running master degree program. So on one side, let's say you register for the KDM. So on the other hand, you are registering at the same time for the Master Mechatronics and Robotics at Hochschule Heilbronn, meaning you need to follow their structure also. Altogether, they have 3 semesters, semester 1, 2, and 3. So, their calendar, academic calendar is more or less the same like us. So the next, there is 1 semester starting in March and another semester starting in September. So normally this is what we will do. After you enroll to our double degree program, we will nominate you to Hochschule Heilbronn. So, and the deadline for nomination for the upcoming September semester is actually the 1st of May. So we need to send them an email by the 30th of April, end of this month, we need to already nominate you. So that's why there's a very short time that we have left now. So for you to consider and make maybe one of the most important decisions in your life. So, and after we nominate you, so Hochschule Heilbronn will actually send you a link where you can start the application process as they call incoming student. Then after that, they will give you an offer letter, then and also a scholarship letter. Then you can then apply for your visa at the German Embassy Kuala Lumpur. So Faculty of Engineering at Tech Campus Zonheim. So as you can see here, something over here. And in front of here is actually some car park. Behind there also car park. And there were buildings, a small garden over there. So, and then this is a slide of one of their alumni. So yeah, just as a motivation slide, their marketing slide. So, and then yeah, for bachelor degree program, they are working with China, I think Tongji University, and Vietnamese German University, and also the German University Cairo. So, and then for master program, they are working with Australia and also working with Malaysia. And right now they are signing another double degree program with the Michigan Institute of Technology in the US. So basically, we are joining their master program by research. They have 3 types of master program. One is the classic master program. The other one is the master focused research. And the third one is master focused entrepreneurship. So we are pairing up with them here for the master focused research. Each of these master program carries 90 ECTS. The only difference is that for master research, so we have only 30 ECTS. 30 ECTS ni boleh hide. Boleh. So they have 30 ECTS. Apa tu dia punya courses class lah, kuliah yang kita perlu attend. So it's 30 ECTS. So the other 60 ECTS is actually your project lah. So they also take into consideration project and publication as like the way they calculate the ECTS is like your project and publication counted as ECTS, your master thesis counted as 30 ECTS, and here is like 30 ECTS, which you still need to fulfill. So and we try to do this with Wei Shen and Sun Fan, and we realized that it's quite a lot. It's possible to complete this in 1 semester, and actually they reduce it until 15. So they cut it into half. So right now, you actually, when you go to Hochschule Heilbronn, you only need to complete 15 ECTS coursework. 5 ECTS will be by means of credit transfer. Another 10 ECTS, they will just recognize your research project as the additional 10 ECTS for their requirement here. So the good news is that now you only need to go there for one semester, whereby you only need to complete the 15 ECTS of coursework. So then another question is then for this 15 ECTS apa khusus yang you boleh join dalam bahasa English kan, kalau semua bahasa Jerman pun it doesn't make sense. So you don't have to worry about that. They require a long list of courses in conducted in English, which you can choose from. So, and you can take any course in English, but it doesn't matter it's bachelor degree or master degree. So, and then the list, the full list, I think I just now I shared it in the chat. You can have a look about the full list of the English language courses. You have to pick 15 ECTS and try to complete them when you are there. So, and you must pass the exam. Yeah. So maybe a bit of facilities and equipment. They have different types of labs like robotics lab, so VR, AR lab. Autonomous driving is a big topic. They get lots of funding for that. Indeed, they are also part of the largest AI consortium within Europe. So Hochschule Heilbronn is also part of it. So very many different types of labs that you can make use of when you are there. So, and then in different fields. I think I don't have to go into the details here. I just run through the slide just so that you can have a look here. So including hydrogen, they are also building up a brand new lab for hydrogen. So of course, mechatronics, robotics, and automation. So they have more robotic arm and 3D printer than the number of students they have. So yeah, they are looking for students working on this kind of robotic arm. So they also have learning factories, so and lots of work and lots of projects in the topic of artificial intelligence. So different centers have been set up. They are also purchasing their first quantum computer, so which will come mid of this year. So maybe next month will arrive. So they have quite a strong internationalization. So in Hochschule Heilbronn. So therefore, when you go there, actually, you are not just meeting the German students. There are students from all around the world, from their 50 partners. So our faculty, so Faculty of Engineering has 50 partners, but the university itself has more than 200 partners. So, and they will help you to look for a dormitory at Hochschule Heilbronn. So, and they have a very good cafeteria, centralized cafeteria. So when you pay for your semester ticket, the so-called semester ticket, you will get free public transportation for the entire state of Baden-Württemberg, and also you get subsidized meal. You can buy food at a cheaper price. So actually, semester ticket is not a tuition fee, and also actually you don't have to pay for the semester ticket also. But if you don't pay for the semester ticket, actually is at your disadvantage, because then you're gonna bayar bus lah, gonna bayar train lah, pergi ke kantin bayar jauh lebih mahal lagi lah. So therefore, it is advised for you to pay for semester ticket so that you can enjoy the benefits. It is not a tuition fee; it's like a benefit and offer from the Hochschule Heilbronn so that you can enjoy benefits as a student. So they have lots of very state-of-the-art computer labs and very good library, just a little bit like our library. You can see here, Spira, thing, multi-story. So, and I think that's the sharing from my side. So thank you very much. Stop sharing. Stop sharing.
Okey, terima kasih kepada PM Dr. IR Dr. Lau di atas penjelasan tersebut. Seterusnya, kita ingin menjemput saudara Lim Wei Zuan untuk menceritakan sikit tentang pengalaman beliau semasa di sana agar boleh memberi sedikit informasi kepada pelajar-pelajar yang berminat. Dipersilakan. Saudara Lim. Okay, we can see the slide. Mungkin Lim boleh besarkan betul-betul yang tu. Okay. Alright.
Rasanya mikrofon tidak being turned on lah. Alright.
Lim, you mute agaknya. Tak dengar. Ataupun you belum cakap.
Hello, can you guys listen to me?
Okay, boleh dengar.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. First of all, I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Emission. So I'm one of the students who did the double master degree program with UTHM and HHN. So let me start off with my student exchange experience at the Hochschule Heilbronn. So for my program, I did 2 semester abroad, which is on the 3rd semester and the 4th semester. So as you can see, here are some of the things that I have to do for this program, which is to submit a publication paper, and then to present a poster and carry out a presentation for the research symposium and collect 40 ECTS during my study at abroad. And on the 4th semester, so I have to submit my complete thesis, and I also have submit a publication. And right now I'm at the last stage, which is carry out the presentation for Viva. So which with my publication paper accepted. So next is that as you can see here is my publication for the IEEE conference at the Egypt section for 2026 with Professor Glider. And here on the right hand side, you can see which is my co-supervisor, Professor Marco, and with a master research student as well. Yeah. So here, why I choose to go for the exchange semester, because I would like to experience a different life in a totally different new country. So it's like a totally new place for me, and with different people and new people, and of course different language and culture. So I would like to step out of my comfort zone as well and try to build a global exposure as early as possible. So I managed to do it. So here on the picture, you can see here is me, myself at the university, Hochschule Heilbronn, and here is the city of Heilbronn. Yeah. So what I gained from this experience is that, of course, I have a stronger independence because I did it all this by myself over 1 year at Germany, and I also experienced like different learning and working with different international students, and of course with my professor. So as you can see, this is my poster presentation with Professor Low during last semester when he visited the Hochschule Heilbronn, and of course Professor Glider, who in charge for this master degree program, and with Professor Marco. And on the right hand side here is she's the Miss Laura. We and Professor Marco, we work on one of the research work for few companies under the Cephus projects that under a few branch of company that help to measure the power consumption for the AI models. So yeah, and why should you go to this dual master program exchange is that I think you can experience of different fields. So of course you can discover your potential as well, not just after you graduate or at the moment you study in your bachelor's and you still couldn't figure out what's your potential, what is your interest. I think at Hochschule Heilbronn you can experience it a lot, especially with different labs. They have robotics lab, they have AI labs, and 3D printing labs, and more. Which just now Professor Loh have shown. I think he have more information, and then so this some of my life at the university. So it's really friendly international environment. So and more self-learning on and hand-on experience. And also the university also provides some visit. So as you can see here, I'm attending the machine learning class with my co-supervisor. And also on the right-hand side, you can see these are my two colleagues who we work at the same AI labs. So here at the bottom is I think most of you guys know Fanuc robot. So we have made a visit to there and experience different. So later I will show you a video of more of my life during abroad. So yeah, and of course, you can travel and have fun with many exchange students as well, and and you can meet a lot of new friends. So you can travel around Germany or around Europe and experience different cultures and meet new friends. And of course, I think this really good to balance your study and have some adventure outside there. So here is my on the first picture, as you can see here, with my friends from Mexico and from Russia, from Canada and from US. And on the right hand side, you can see here is more of my Asia friends from Taiwan, Korea, and at the bottom we have friends from Malaysia who are doing their bachelor's and at the Hochschule Heilbronn. And here are some of my friends who I met on my ski trip on the winter. So yeah. So thank you. And that's all from my side. I would like to show you guys one of my, I made some short videos. So let me share with you guys. I'm not sure if you guys can listen to the sound, but here are some. So here, yeah, this is the cafeteria. Yeah, and this is the school. Facing skies are while I stay in my lane. Something away. Pulling back my chain. Oh, try. Somebody must try. But I hope inside. I don't ask your name today. You never get a chance. I walk beside you.
Altitude of never languages I can't speak. We write down cities on a map. Dreams still on that.
Okay. So I think that's all from my side. I hope I can is try to inspire more students to do this exchange program at Germany. So I think it's a really good experience. So don't worry, when you are alone abroad, yeah, you'll be fine. Uh, I think I never regret that I make to this program. So I hope you guys can do this as well. Yeah, thank you.
Okey, terima kasih Saudara Lim di atas perkongsian yang menarik itu tadi. Sekarang kita ingin membuka kepada sebarang soalan daripada para peserta dalam ni. Ada apa-apa soalan ke? Okey, kita ada satu soalan daripada Saudari Afika. Boleh saya tanya macam mana kalau sedang first semester masa student perlu daftar macam mana ya atau cara convert? Okey. Untuk convert ni mungkin saya boleh jawab juga. Untuk convert ni sebenarnya kalau pelajar pada semester yang pertama, so boleh mengisi borang dekat CGS untuk convert kedua degree. Tapi ini sebelum convert tu nak kena bincang betul-betul dulu, mencari supervisor bersetuju ke atau tidak ke, adakah tajuk tu boleh dibawa bukan juga di Heilbronn University ataupun macam mana. Tu kena ada banyak nak tukar tu boleh, cuma kena ada persiapan. Kalau betul-betul nak kedua degree ni kena ada persiapan yang sewajarnya lah yang dilakukan. Mungkin Dr. Radin ke nak tambah ke sekiranya nak convert kedua degree?
Okay, because of okay, terima kasih Dr. Azian. Mungkin ada pelajar, kalau saya cerita history lah, ada juga seorang pelajar dahulu juga ada berminat, cuma dia stuck somewhere tu kerana perbincangan itu mungkin tidak dijalankan secara detail. Jadi untuk Miss Afika, siapa supervisornya ya Miss Afika sekarang? Kalau boleh, you sendiri bersama supervisor yang sekarang dan juga mungkin dengan Dr. Low lah, kalau Dr. Low ada ni, Dr. Low ada, lakukan deep discussion on this. Kemudian mungkin Dr. Low boleh mencadangkan juga the availability of the co-supervisor di sana. Itu yang paling penting lah. Jadi perbincangan ni tiga entiti ni perlulah, iaitu you, yourself, Miss Afika, your supervisors dan juga Dr. Low lah. Kerana apa? Mungkin supervisor anda sekarang, Afika, dia mempunyai objektif-objektif yang tersendiri yang mungkin sama objektifnya align with the co-supervisor yang berada di Heilbronn. Jadi bila mendapat mutual agreement tu berkenaan conversion tu, saya rasa Dr. Azhar di pihak jabatan pun akan lebih mudah untuk lakukan conversion tu. Selalunya the stacking element tu dari segi supervisors dan co-supervisors dan tajuk tu sendiri sama ada boleh dijalankan juga di sana sebab dia parallelly running programs kan. Jadi bila anda berada di sana 6 months tu, perlulah juga anda lakukan collaborative research tadi tu di sana. Jadi saya rasa memang 3 person kena sit down and then discuss. Pada saya conversion tak ada masalah, sekarang bulan 4 ya, akhir. So you will be going over there, kalau nak pergi pun is on September, betul tak ke? Telur saya rasa lah. So ada
saya tambahkan.
ample time lah untuk visa proses dan sebagainya lah.
Saya carankan student yang berminat nak convert ataupun yang berminat nak register next sem. So maybe kita meet sekali lagi next week bersama dengan Dr. Azian dan Dr. Radin. So supaya I think for sure you have lots of questions. So dan macam kalau nak jawab online ni macam ni one by one pun maybe ada soalan yang kita tak terfikir lagi. So barangkali maybe next week kita jumpa sekali lagi. So but today kita nak tahu ada berapa ramai yang berminat. Supaya next week tu kita dah buat briefing macam ni open to all, but we buat satu lagi macam sesi perbincangan dengan directly with you lah.
Ya, so far kita ada berapa tu? 4 available quota kan? Tu so
Scholarship untuk this year ada 4, untuk next year ada lagi. So think maybe tak perlu risau berkenaan scholarship dulu. I'm not sure how many are here. So but kita jumpa dulu. Kalau berminat kita jumpa dulu. But I forgot to mention one thing scholarship tu adalah partial scholarship. Yang maksudnya scholarship tu value dia, nilai dia adalah 4,000, dekat 4,000 untuk 6 bulan. Meaning you actually still need your GPPS. Baru cukup untuk survive di Jerman. So Jerman DAD bagi 4,000 euro untuk 6 bulan. Yang mana you actually perlu top up lagi lah 1,700 tu. So every month daripada GPPS baru cukup.
Because of Miss Afika pun dia tanya, still perlu cari co-supervisor di sana. Yes.
Perlu. Kita perlu bagi tahu pihak situ. So this is our project. And adakah mereka ada profesor yang boleh co-supervisor project?
So Miss Afika yang perlu kerana dia kolaboratif punya cooperation between UTHM dan HHN. Jadi memang kena perlu dua pihak mempunyai supervisor lah. Di sana kita panggil co lah kalau anda UTHM local student. Kalau di pihak Germany, di Heilbronn, kalau dia datang ke sini, UTHM supervisor akan become co-supervisor. Di Germany, Heilbronn akan menjadi main supervisor. Alright, itu saya rasa sudah menjawab kot Miss Afika tu. Alright.
Okey, seterusnya kita ada soalan di chat box oleh Alif Zuhairi. For master, the thesis is suggested by university related to the course there, or kita kena fikir tajuk and propose to UTHM. So I'm not sure. Hari ni KDM dia masuk ke ataupun final semester student degree? Alif Zuhairi ada?
Alumni Doktor.
Alumni. Maksudnya dah graduate from degree?
Yes.
Okay, so nak mempertimbangkan master lah. Okay. Alright, so mungkin siapa boleh jawab? Dr. Radin lah kot The thesis suggested by university related to the course atau kita kena fikir tajuk dan propose to UTHM, HNN?
Itulah soalan tu, the thesis is suggested by university related to the course. Saya tak berapa faham apa maksud related to the course tu. Alif.
Okay Doktor, as mentioned dekat HHN, macam saya electrical, so dekat sana dia more to robotic and manufacturing, is it?
Yeah, robotic and mechatronics, right?
Mechatronic, yeah, sorry. Robotic and mechatronic. So the tajuk kena related to the course kat sana kan?
So you are previously graduated from electric and electronics, yeah?
Yeah.
Ni PM Dr. Nabihah pun ada tu.
Ya. So boleh apa? Boleh
mechatronics
consider for master electrical lah sebenarnya. Nanti boleh jumpa saya Dr. Alif. Apa Alif nanti?
Saya rasa mechatronics dan robotics memang ada elemen of electrical di situ. Tak silap saya Dr. Loh. Jadi selagi mana your SV di sini dan juga co-SV di sana mempunyai mutual agreement on the topic itself, then you can go ahead lah, tak silap saya. Tak ada masalah pun ya dari segi tajuk tu, right? Yang penting tu ketika when you enroll, bila nak apply tu, di dalam portal CGS dan juga SMAP portal, memang ada ruang di situ yang you kena tulis the proposal secara brief. That's why discussion dengan potential supervisors perlu dilakukan. And then the supervisor as well need to discuss with mungkin Dr. Nabiha dengan Dr. Loh tentang potential pula yang di sana, di co-supervisor di sana. Itu yang penting tu dia mutual agreement on the proposal tu. Dia tak perlu detail, dia brief untuk memenuhi syarat permohonan. Okay. Kemudian bila you dah menjalani researchnya dan juga kelasnya, the title of your thesis mesti related to the coursework yang anda jalankan di sana dengan research yang anda lakukan lah. Sebagusnya sebegitulah ya, Alif. So yang paling penting I think it is a brief proposal lah yang pertama, dengan nomination of the supervisors dengan co-supervisors. Co-supervisor mungkin lambat sedikit tidak apa, tapi main supervisor yang agree with your topic that this can be done over there as well in HHN. Itu yang paling penting sekali lah. Kerana stuck element tu selalu di situ. Yang saya nampak lah secara history ada seorang tu dia stuck di situ lah, whereby the supervisor mungkin dengan objektif of the research tu tidak align dengan HHN ataupun untuk mencari co-supervisor di sana tu mungkin tak berapa ada yang tak berapa nak mungkin berminat dengan proposal sebegitu kan. That's why itu yang dia jadi stuck dan kemudian tidak berlaku lah proses itu. Okay Alif.
Okay, Doctor. Thank you.
Okay, seterusnya kita ada yang raise hand tu, Eng Jun Eng nak cakap ke ataupun?
Yeah, I can speak here. Is it okay if I
alright.
ask the question right now? Yeah, so my question is, am I eligible for the scholarship? Even though I'm the undergraduate student, not the master, for the upcoming winter exchange?
Dr. Azam, maybe saya boleh jawab.
Okay, silakan.
Jun,
Yeah,
you-
June.
you are not, I manage your internship with Fraunhofer IEM, and also I managed the nomination. I nominated you also for Hochschule-Heilbronn. I understood that you will go to Fraunhofer IEM for internship, and after that you plan to go to Hochschule-Heilbronn for undergraduate exchange program. So the DAAD scholarship, this is a very specific funding only for double degree students. If you are
Alright.
undergraduate, you are not eligible for that, but you can wait and apply when the time when you want to start your double degree with us.
Okay, noted.
Yeah.
Okay, understood. Sir, can I ask when is the exact date for the winter semester program will start? Because I see in the email they have multiple dates, like some are pre-registration, some is like introduction, some is buddy program.
Check your academic calendar. You Google academic calendar, Faculty of Engineering, Hochschule-Heilbronn. I will Google it. I put it in the chat.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there any other questions? So in the chat box, okay, so this is from Jaden Lim. I have to leave, but I really hope you all consider joining this program. Don't worry, I was once in your shoes. Just step out of your comfort zone. It's not just about studying, it's more about discovering yourself. If you have questions, so you can email Lim at limwx2000@outlook.com. Okay, so he can answer any of your question. All right. Is there any other question from the floor? Ada soalan lagi? Okay. So I'm going to drop my handphone number so that if anyone that interested, okay, for nak join this dual degree, so maybe we can have this separate discussion, okay, with me, with Dr. Radin, with Dr. Lau, so that we can help you, maybe searching for the co-SV and all that. Okay, so I'm going to drop my handphone number here. Okay, at the chat box. Okay, so just you can WhatsApp me. Okay, so I will arrange that with Dr. Radin and also Dr. Long. Okay, but we need to like submit the name of the scholarship by the end of this month. Okay, so we have like very limited time. So if you are interested, then we can discuss more maybe next week. Okay.
Tetap kan, kalau next week tu
Ya.
hari apa? Hari yang sama ke? Masa yang sama?
Not sure.
Oh, sebenarnya.
maybe they contact me first and then we schedule the time. Is it okay?
Okay.
Alright. Dr. Nabiha, ada apa-apa nak tambah? Anything?
Tak ada. Tak, cuma tu lah, maksudnya kita ada bagi macam due untuk permohonan kalau contoh untuk summer ke winter, ada tak kita letak some due date lah untuk student to apply lah for that one.
For the due date, Dr. Lau need to submit the names before 31st of April, I think. Okay, so kita ada lagi 4 kekosongan actually. Okay, but also remember that it's actually a partial scholarship, so you need also to apply for the GPPS so that you have cukup lah untuk you punya sara hidup kat sana dan sebagainya. Okay, but if you like from kalau you punya parent could support, then no problem lah kan, but then you need to consider that also lah. Okay, sebab dekat sana dia quite high punya living, cost of living lah kat sana. Okay, so maybe tadi Dr. Nabiha macam ada nak minta perkongsian Dr. Radin punya slide nanti yang tadi tu, so mungkin boleh share kat saya, nanti saya boleh share pada Dr. Nabiha lah.
Okay, nanti saya share lah dalam group lah ya. Alright.
Oh, kita ada juga kat chat box Alif Zuhairi nak minta tu nombor telefon Dr. Nabiha. Okay. Alright, so anything, siapa yang very serious, okay, we have ada 4 lagi tempat kekosongan yang mungkin kita boleh bincang lah. So kita akan tengok pro and cons, boleh ke tak boleh ke dan sebagainya. Okay, so boleh contact saya secepat mungkin so that kita akan boleh buat satu perjumpaan yang secara fizikal lah antara kita untuk bincang dengan lebih serius, sebab kita perlu hantar nama tersebut sebelum 31 April ni. Okay, dah tak lama lah, ada beberapa minggu je lagi. Okay, so tu nombor saya, so boleh contact saya. Okay, alright, so kalau tak ada apa-apa, so saya ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kepada semua yang hadir. Begitu juga pada Dr. Nabiha dari FKI, Dr. Radin, panel kita, Dr. Lau dan juga Lim. Okay, mungkin kita boleh buka kamera, kita ambil gambar lah sekali. Okay, so ada bukti kita dah buat promosi. Alright. Okay, yang lain? Okay, semua senyum. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you everyone. Have a good day.
Okay, terima kasih.
Terima kasih semua. Thank you Dr. Radin, Dr. Azia dengan Dr. Long.
Thank you.
Right.